Be grateful for all this clamor. That is the sound of thoughts clashing. Fine. So they are leaving the final debate to him.
Let those Chrysos heirs who started this terrible war hear you. Let them hear the voices of the people!
As always, that woman knows how to stir up a crowd.
Professor Anaxa, I thought you'd pass on this.
Everyone must cast their vote, or this assembly would serve no purpose.
Prof, do you truly think it's wise to entrust the fate of the world to an assembly like this?
Akama has stood strong under this system for 1,000 years. It stands to reason that there is purpose in its existence. But that is not what you're asking, is it? What you really want to know is Aglaya making the right decision in entrusting the fate of the world to you?
Nothing ever escapes you.
I didn't spend all those years teaching you for nothing. Most people only take 4 years to graduate, if I recall.
To tell the truth, I feel like I'm on my way to an execution chamber instead of a podium. So, do you have an answer to that question?
No, I don't.
I thought so.
Because that question is not yours to ask in the first place. Is Aglaya entrusting the world to you the right decision? Don't make me laugh. That is a question that woman must answer herself. Why are you fretting about this on her behalf? Or have you been seeing yourself as her pawn all this time? Listen up. I'll say this only once. Flip your perspective around and ask yourself this instead. What should I do to ensure that the world doesn't stray from the correct path? That is what you should be thinking about. You still have time, so give it some thought. Oh, and don't bother telling me the answer. Tell it to those begging for salvation from the gods.
Got it. Thank you, Professor Anaxa.
That's Anaxagoras to you.
Who will you be voting for?
That'll depend on how well you perform. May Circe safeguard your thoughts.
I actually don't necessarily mind things remaining the way they are.
Elders and citizens, silence, if you please. As the Theoros, I present to you Phinan of Ides Elysiae, virtuous citizen of Akama, and the last speaker of the assembly.
Much obliged, Lord Lycus.
I remember him. He's the penniless lad working for Aglaya.
Where's Lady Goldweaver? Why is she sending this guy to give the last speech? Is this really the end of the Flame Chase journey?
Can this dude really face down kindness? They don't necessarily find
By Kefali above. Dear citizens of Akima, as you look upon me, so too do I see you. I see your fear and misgivings, your apprehension about the discord between the Chrysos heirs and the Council of Elders. And your uneasiness about the future of the Holy City. Yet, before you contemplate something as grand as the fate of the world, I ask that you look closer. Look beyond the horizon illuminated by Kefali, at the crisis threatening to overwhelm us.
What?
Hyades Elysiae, my beloved hometown, is a village forgotten by time. It is a place with the most invigorating breeze and wheat fields that spread all the way to the sea. I once thought that there I would enjoy a lifetime of peace and quiet with my friends and family. How I wish I could invite all of you to that paradise, far from the noise and chatter of the world. Alas, I can't. Because she, and all that she nurtured, all that I loved, they have long been devoured by the black tide. My beloved home is no more. I will never forget the day the black tide struck. My father, Hieronymus, fought with a broken sword to his last breath to protect his child. My mother, Aldada, she was ripped apart by monsters. Also, I might live to stand before you here and now. Galba, he was a hunter. But in the end, those arms that once drew a bow instead embraced Piso, his beloved son, as they both breathed their last. Pythias, the teacher, risked her life to save her students, but a burning beam fell on her, crushing her. And what of Livia, her daughter? Did she make it out alive? No, she didn't. Livia, Piso, and so many other children. My childhood friends. They were all swallowed by the black tide and turned into monsters. They kept saying the same thing over and over. Even up until the final moment, I finally steeled my heart and granted them eternal peace with my sword. Why, Fina? Aren't we the best of friends? That is the black tide. A looming threat that can bring Akima to its knees any time. Kindness may have promised that with the 3 titans of calamity gone, Akima will return to an era Chrysia once more, but much as it pains me, I must disappoint you. While the demigod of strife has done everything in his power to hold them back, they are still coming. By now, the name of that black-robed swordmaster, the Flame Reaper, has likely echoed throughout the city already. The roaring thunder is a message from the Strife demigod. The Flame Reaper has risen from death, and they hunger for the core flames of the gods. The city of Akima shows no signs of pandemonium or chaos. And why is that? I beg you, spare a moment to think about this. Are we able to stand here and hold this assembly in peace today because the danger has passed? No! This peace we enjoy is no gift of fate. We are able to stand here today only because the Chrysos heirs have stepped up and shielded Akima from calamity. With her golden threads, Aglaya has preserved and continues to preserve these idyllic days that all of you hold dear. The Council of Elders claims that Aglaya will one day forsake the people because her divinity is eroding her body and soul. But ask yourselves this. Rather than offering her aid and support, why do they choose to watch and push Akima away from the Flame Chase journey? The answer that no one can bring themselves to speak of. A truth stained in blood and buried in greed, fear, and vanity. Allow me to lay it bare before you. It is because the Council of Elders, which bears Akima's history and honor, along with this citizens' assembly we once took so much pride in, are now infested with vermin.
You insolent whelp! How dare you!
It is true that Aglaya has reached her limit. Why? Because she has been working tirelessly to weave the defenses of our holy city against the encroaching evil. All while these vermin are making up baseless accusations about her and scheming in the shadows. Not once has she ever failed Akima. Yet these vermin attempt to tear her apart, tarnishing her name with unfounded allegations. She may have been blessed by divinity, but hasn't her heart always stayed true to humanity? They attempt to mislead you and reduce this assembly to a crude standoff between gods and humans, but citizens of Akima. Once more, I implore you to open your eyes and look at those around you. Examine them closely. Beneath all that finery, do you see the good heart of a human or the poisonous glands of a pest? Make your judgment, then turn your gaze to the demigods whom so many of you regard as cold and merciless. Do you not see the light of humanity in them? And those who wear the mask of humanity yet utter only hurtful, slanderous words. Can you not see that their souls have been corrupted by power? Yet, no matter what your answer is, and no matter who your vote goes to, rest assured that you have nothing to fear. For Aglaya, Tribios, and I will remain your faithful guardians and pledge our lives to upholding your decision. And this vow will stay true until the end of our days, where it will be passed on to future flame chasers. A steadfast and unwavering promise that shall endure through the ages.
Absolutely right. The Chrysos heirs have only our best interests in mind. Our students. We never believe our proceedings are always have to end. So.
At the present time, on the scales of Talenton, those who call for the continuation of the Flame Chase journey, and those who demand its suspension. Each faction holds an equal share of votes, resulting in a perfect balance.
As expected, this is the moment when the Flame Chase journey is the closest to its end.
And now, it's your turn to vote, Lord Anaxagoras.
Is there anyone else who hasn't voted?
No, you're the last. Cast your vote with care, for your decision will break this impasse.
I have long since made a decision.
Very well. May you bring much needed change to this farcical world. The last vote.
Who will he vote for?
Vote for kindness.
The die is cast.
I trust you haven't forgotten the world we've envisioned together.
Vote for kindness.
The die is cast.
Always the performer.
Talk about a grand entrance.
You've done well, Finan. Given the circumstances, delivering a rousing speech to stir up emotions was a prudent move. Thank you all for your patience. On behalf of the 7 sages of the Grove of Epiphany and the scholars of Amphorius, I, Anaxagoras, am ready to cast my vote. But before that, in the interest of fairness, Lady Goldweaver, I pose a question to you before all who are gathered here. Will you, as Finan has promised, stand by the decision made in the Assembly, regardless of outcome?
In the interest of fairness, I make no promises, lest it should influence your decision.
Very well. I thank you for your honesty.
What's he doing?
The stakes are high. Let's be patient.
Cut the act! Who do you think you are wasting our time like this?
Lord Anaxa, please do not forget that I...
Rule number 1. Rule number 2. Never interrupt